Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Widener from Massage Chair Relief, and today I have the privilege of meeting with one of our customers, Francis Endryck from Florida, now of Florida, formerly of New York. And Francis is the owner of a Daiwa Supreme Hybrid, which is a very popular chair for us. And so I value the interviews that we have about this chair because a lot of people want to hear about this chair from people that are actually using it and experiencing it. So Francis, welcome. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
I'm happy to join you.
Why don't we begin by maybe you talking a little bit about your journey to getting that chair? A lot of people that have purchased chairs just don't look at a chair and say, I'm going to buy it. They do homework and whatnot. And tell me a little bit about how you arrived at this chair and how you arrived at buying that chair from us.
Sure. I'm a personal trainer, and I've gotten probably 5,000 massages in my career. I would barter massages for personal training with masseuses. So I got kind of spoiled. When I left New York, I really stopped training people, and it cost $65 for every massage I would get in Florida. And I really love massage. I think massage is vital to being in your 80s and 90s in good shape. So, this is like insurance for me, getting a massage. Well, anyway, I've been looking at massage chairs kind of covertly because they were expensive, and I didn't know what to buy. Here in Florida, we have a shop maybe an hour away that sells chairs. They sell a select few, not the Daiwa, but I thought about going over there. But instead, I bought a used Slabway chair. Now, this chair was $700 used. The lady I bought it from purchased it for $4,000 plus shipping. Now, when I bought it from her, they were selling for $2,000, which led me to the conclusion that the company was a profit-centered, it was a scheme to make money. Eventually, the company went bankrupt, and I'm sitting there with this chair, and it worked okay. There was nothing wrong with it. I sold it for the $700 that I paid for it, but I liked the quality of the massage. So I started thinking about buying a real massage chair. My biggest concern was service. Well, you buy this from Costco, and you get the chair home, and 2.5 years later it breaks. What happens? How does it get fixed? How do you get service? So I started looking on the internet. Is there a company somewhere in America that sells chairs and also services them? And then lo and behold, I find Dr. Widener and his company. I read his internet site probably 12 times. I could probably repeat some of his quotes verbatim because I really liked what he had to say. And I liked where his philosophy in the chair was. It wasn't about a profit motive. It was about giving people what they need and what they want at a price point. After listening to all his reviews, I kind of got stuck on the Daiwa. I like the hyperextension. A lot of people, as they age, their psoas muscles tighten up and they walk bent over due to a lack of glute muscles and hamstrings, and that psoas tightens you up. So I said, this chair has got a lot going on at that stretch. Now, I do yoga, but I don't do it regularly. But I use my Daiwa chair 6 out of the 7 days of the week since I've purchased it. Wow. I don't know, maybe 3 months ago. You might call it an addiction to the chair. It's my time to be alone, to be in the dark. I have a salt lamp going, and it provides a meditation, a physical release. Okay, I work out probably every other day, and I use the chair as one of the components to lead a healthy life. I try to work out. After the workout, I have a Bullfrog hot tub, which is a hot tub made in Utah, and it has different jetting patterns based on the problems that you have. And my chiropractor picked out what kind of jets to get in that Bullfrog. So I will take usually about a 25-minute hot tub, and then I go into a clear light infrared sauna. The sauna does mid rays, far infrared, and near infrared rays. So I try to spend 20 minutes getting blasted in the sauna. A cold shower to stop sweating, and then my favorite part of this protocol is the chair. So my reward for sweating and freezing is to get into that chair. And the programs, there's 12 programs, and each and every one of them has a purpose. So I kind of enjoy all of them. I go from one to the other. Sometimes I'll do that morning protocol, and then at night I'll do another chair. I don't want to overuse it. One of the questions I have for the doctor is, can you overuse a massage chair? So, you know, I try to limit it to once a day.
Yeah.
I really like the chair. There's absolutely no complaints. I'm learning the intricacies of the chair. It's simple, but there's a lot to it. The 12 automatic programs put you in a perfect place, but then you can fine tune. There's adjustments, and you know, I haven't been playing with them enough to really understand them. We spoke a little bit earlier before this recording about how to do the pre-adjustment phase. But I'm comfortable with if I don't learn one more thing about this chair, I'll be happy. It's a super investment. It's a lot of money. I contemplated it for a long time before I actually bought one. The first chair was when I bought that, it opened the floodgates to I wanted a good massage chair.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want a good massage chair. I wanted one that would be around. You know, you get a lifetime warranty. I mean, who has ever heard of a company backing a product that they don't make for life? You know, my first thought, this is too good to be true. There has to be an angle. Well, there is no angle to this company. It's what you see is what you get. You get integrity, you get honesty, and the service. The people that delivered the chair were super. Everything was where it was supposed to be. There was nothing, no problems. Maybe it took 2 weeks between my ordering the chair and actually receiving it.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're interested in getting a chair, I would start shopping here, because he has all kinds of chairs from, I think, $1,000 up to $20,000. There's different companies. I wanted to buy American. He sells another line that was $3,000 more for a comparable chair, and I just didn't want to spend the $3,000, so I bought the Daiwa, and I think I saved the $3,000, and it was a wise investment savings. I'm not sure yet, but so anyway, there's a brief blurb on why I like Daiwa.
Well, I appreciate that. Now, I got a couple of questions from what you just shared. Number one was, how does the new chair compare to the Slabway chair? I asked that question because a lot of people ask, well, what's the difference between a $2,000 chair and a $10,000 chair? I mean, this is a frequent question we get. I even have a video on my YouTube channel that compares a $500 chair to a $5,000 chair, and there are differences. But I'd be interested to hear what your take is on that. And then also, is there a program that you like, a favorite program that you have on the Daiwa? So if you could answer those questions.
Sure. The favorite is probably the hyperextension. You know, we're all supposed to be doing hyperextension stretches every day, and I don't think anybody but a real yoga person does them regularly. So that chair does it for you. It's, you know, providing you with a stretch that in your 80s and 90s, you're going to appreciate you have done that. The big difference, the Slabway chair was nice. I mean, I'd never had a chair, so I got into the chair, and I felt like I was getting a top shelf massage. You cannot compare the Slabway and the Daiwa in the same sentence. Number one, that chair didn't do your glutes, your hamstrings. The intensity of the massage is, it goes in and out, backwards and forwards, sideways, on all three axes. So you're getting a massage that starts in your neck. There was no upper body part of the massage. The Slabway chair did probably from the bottom of your cervix to the top of your lumbar. So you were getting a very limited massage. The no feet action whatsoever. The reflexology in the Daiwa is phenomenal. If you've never studied reflexology, you should take a look at what the benefits of doing some kind of a foot massage can do for your body. The Daiwa comes forth with all kinds of feet adjustments that I never knew were even available. When I bought the chair, I had no idea what I was getting. It's like feature after feature pop up the more you use the chair. Slabway was, I thank them for getting me into buying a massage chair, but it's like comparing apples and oranges. It's not, you can't even describe it to somebody.
Yeah, and you that's a great segue into our philosophy, which is the cheaper chairs are not bad, They
Right.
just don't off it, and they're, what if you only have a $2,000 budget? You can't afford a $10,000 chair. The cheaper chairs, they're cheaper made with cheaper components, but they introduce people to the market. That's exactly what that chair did for you. And so there is a purpose, and that chair might last you. You might be lucky and have it last you 5 or 6 years before you even have a problem with it. But then there's a spectrum of chairs, and it can fit any budget. But they serve a purpose. Absolutely, they do. I agree with what you said 100%. Now, you mentioned when we were just kind of chit-chatting before we started recording that your wife also uses the chair, but she uses it for, like, you use it, I get the impression that you use it primarily for wellness,
Yes.
complementing a healthy lifestyle. But your wife has some issues with muscle pains and whatnot. Maybe if you don't mind, if you maybe explain a little bit about that.
Sure. My wife broke her left hip, tripped over the dog, and had to have the hip pinned, which means they drove a nail through her sideways and then a nail down into the femur. So her right side is pinned. Her left side is bone on bone. She needs hip replacement, does not want to do it, is afraid of the surgery, is afraid of the pain afterwards, and ends up frequently in all kinds of spasms, starting up on top in the erector, working down through the piriformis. Sometimes her IT band is like a piece of steel.
Wow.
Okay, so I had these hand massagers prior to the Daiwa, which I would use that have these minor up and down vibrations. Hence the chair. The chair was partly for her in her rehabilitation of her problems. So if she has any kind of a problem, we go to the program that addresses the problem, whether it be lower back, mid back, upper back, and she spends 20 minutes in the chair and walks up like she gets up out of the chair like she has just taken a pain reliever.
Wow.
We're both afraid of oxycodone and what the doctors want to prescribe is pain relief. Go to a pain doctor. In Florida, everybody goes to a pain doctor. This chair is the alternative to drugs. It relieves the spasm. It puts her in a better frame of mind. I suspect if she had other problems, we could use other programs for the problems. She's not as much on preventative care as I am. I think that chair is going to add quality to my life as I get older. But when she has a problem, she goes running to the Daiwa for relief. And so that's kind of how we view that.
Well, what's interesting is a lot of couples buy the chairs, right? So it may be for the husband that wants it, but it's the wife that often does the homework and does the due diligence to figure out what chair might be the best option. Well, often we'll have people come to the showroom. A couple will come to the showroom, and the wife will say, "Oh, it's for him. It's for him, whatever he wants." And then, of course, invariably she'll pipe up or pipe in, and this could go either way, but it's most commonly with the men. And then the wives are like in my situation, my wife is the one that makes sure that I don't screw up and I don't make a bad choice. Well, it's interesting because the wife or the husband, depending on which way it's going, they'll say, "Oh, yeah, I don't care what he gets. I don't like sitting in chairs, and we'll invite that other spouse to sit in a chair. No, I don't want to sit in the chair." And then we find out later that the wife or the husband or whoever was the one that didn't really want the chair for themselves is the one that's using it the most, and that is not uncommon. So I don't know if your wife was really into getting a chair, but I'm glad to hear she's using it and finding some help with it.
Yeah, she kind of thought I was crazy spending that much money. But now that we have it, she has actually given me some money to help pay for it. So she put her money where her mouth is.
Good. Bless her heart. That's a good woman right there.
There's a testimony right there, Doc.
There you go. Well, now, okay, two more questions. One is there anything about the chair that you don't like or that you wish was different? It sounds like you love the chair, but are you happy with everything it does, or is there anything that you wish was different?
Okay, I would like it to go up a little further on my neck.
Okay.
It stops mid-neck, and I would like it to go up further. Now, my chiropractor adjusts the axis on the top of my spine.
Yeah.
He's a specific kind of chiropractor. He believes if that axis is level, the nerves fire up and you have no problems. And I used to have a chronic back problem until I met him. So maybe it's good that the chair doesn't go up any further to mess with that axis. So I really am not saying that's a complaint. That's just an observation. Otherwise, the chair is perfect.
Well, just to address that, and we talked about the scanning before we started the recording, but you can adjust the scans. How tall are you, by the way, Francis?
6'1".
That chair should fit you just fine, and it should be hitting your neck. So 2 tips, and this is not just for you, this is for anybody watching this video. When you sit in a massage chair, you turn on an auto program, keep your head back. A lot of people are looking at the remote or
Me, that's what I do. I'm looking around. I will press my neck in.
just at least during the scan. And then you get your head back. So the rollers are going up there to find out where the base of your skull is and where the top of your shoulders are. And if you have your head forward, it's going to think that the shoulders are the base of your skull or close to it. So you'll fool the scanning system. So do that. And then the other thing that we talked about was if you're sitting in your chair and you after you let it scan you properly, every time you sit in it, and you still feel like it's not going up high enough, then that's when you can adjust the shoulder adjustment at the end of the scan. The chair will let you know, hey, it'll beep or a light will flash. And that's basically the chair asking you are the rollers positioned right? Do you want them higher? And you can adjust it higher or lower. But that's
I appreciate that tip.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Good topic that you brought up there. Now, for anyone that's looking to buy a chair, and of course, most of the people, if not all the people that will be watching this video, are people who are looking for chairs and probably considering the hybrid. What advice would you have to someone who's looking for a chair, who's in the process right now, trying to find a chair to get?
I would say if you're contemplating it and it's within your budget, stop pontificating and order it, because you'll be sorry you didn't get it. As soon as you get the chair, you're going to say to yourself, I should have bought this 5 years ago. And you're going to regret, the indecision. And, of course, it's a money thing, too. It's a lot of money. But as soon as I got this chair, I wished I had bought this 25 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The technology wasn't available then, and I didn't have the money then. But no, I regret not getting it sooner. That's my biggest regret.
Yeah. Well, that's great advice. And you have different types of people that are shopping, right? There's people that are more impulse buyers. They'll buy on a moment's notice. There's others that will look at a few and maybe spend a month doing some homework. And then there's others that we have customers that'll come back 6 months to 2 years later saying, remember when I was in your showroom? Well, I'm ready to buy now. And so those are usually much more analytical people, very analytical people like engineers and accountants. And I can say this because one of my sons-in-law is an engineer and the other one's an accountant, and they are that way. They just study and study and study, almost analysis or paralysis by analysis.
Yes.
But you know what? We're here for all of those people, and there's definitely, I don't know, there's definitely different types of buyers. But man, I wonder how many people regret not buying chairs earlier when they do get them. But that's a great point.
My sleep score, as also, I have a sleep tracker. It tracks my score. I am sleeping better as a result of that chair.
Really?
So if you want a quantitative thing for the analysis people, track your sleep on a sleep tracker and then get in the chair for a month, and you will see a significant improvement in your sleep.
Huh.
Okay. So there's a quantitative way of measuring what the chair is doing for you.
Truly, and we have heard that before. Do you use the chair before you go to bed, or is it mostly in the morning during your?
Well, it could be both, anytime. I woke up at 2 o'clock wide awake this morning thinking about our conversation, and I said, I'm going to try a chair at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I liked it, and I went back to bed after it. So
I hope this interview hasn't stressed you out. Like,
no. I didn't want to screw it up. That's all.
Oh no, you did absolutely wonderfully. It was great, and of course we try to make it an easygoing interview. As like I said in the beginning, we're not trying to grill you, but boy, the insights you gave were fantastic, Francis. Really great insights. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to get this video up on our YouTube channel for people to listen to you and learn from what you have to say. Any parting shots before we finish up?
No, other than thank you so much for your help with my chair, and also with my help with my family problem. That you jumped in the middle of a family disorder and tried to help, and you did help. And I will be eternally grateful. When you help my kids, you have a fan for life.
Well, you're very, very kind. Well, I have 6 of them, and I've had other people help me with offer empathy for my family situations at times too. So we're all in as parents, we're all kind of in the same boat. But it's a pleasure. Well, thank you so much, Francis. It's been a joy visiting with you. And I have to say, in the course of your buying process, you were very, very congenial and kind. And if you weren't impatient, you weren't, you never got derogatory with me if things weren't going the way you wanted them to go. You were just a real gentleman the whole time. So thank you for making the buying process easy for me too, the selling process. I appreciate that very much. Well, all right. Well, I look forward to visiting with you again, but thank you so much for being here today.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Francis, have a great day. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.